Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today, and this time I have some great discard decks for you that will really help you with the hot location SOKOVIA, which discards a random card from each player's hand when it shows up in your games. I've got decks here for all of the different pools, whether you're a beginner just starting out, or you're someone who has access to a lot of those pool 4 or 5 cards, or anything in between. We have a deck here for you that'll help you if you are in the discard mood. There is, of course, the new card Stature, something like that. I'll have it on the screen here, which synergizes very much with discard, but I'm going to assume a lot of you don't have that card, so none of these decks are featuring that, but that is a great one to play if you have it, of course, on this hot location. But with that being said, let's jump into the first deck that I have for you here. This is a Pool 3, mainly, with Modoc deck, which is focused around value with discards. You know, of course, you're going to be going for Wolverine and Swarm as your main targets for this Modoc discard, and Apocalypse, of course. You're going to play Morbius, Mystique the Morbius, get 2 engines going on the board, play a Dracula, which can then discard your Apocalypse at the end of the game, and of course, that Modoc to get you a ton of value. This is a very nice deck, pretty consistent, good way to do discard if you're sort of in that Pool 3 or beyond level. Next, we have another version of that sort of deck, but this time with Collector and Helicarrier, so you're able to get some nice Collector value when you discard Swarm with Colleen or with Modoc, and when you discard Helicarrier later in the game, that Collector's also going to get buffed up for every card that's coming into your hand with those effects. So this is a different approach, not very different, you know, a couple of cards, but you can go for this if you have Helicarrier available. Maybe neither of those last 2 decks took your fancy, but here we have a Lockjaw Modoc deck where you can sort of chain your discard effects multiple times by reshuffling them into the deck with Lockjaw and playing them out again. So we've got Gambit, we've got Lady Sif, and all this good stuff. So maybe that's more your cup of tea. If you have Hela, then this could be a good way to go for you. Speaking of Hela, do you want to go all in on that archetype? Because you can do that. We've got an Invisible Woman Hela deck, where you basically play your Modoc and your Hela behind Invisible Woman so that she stops them being revealed immediately. Allows you to do that nice wombo combo, Modoc discarding your hand and Hela then playing all of that hand out onto the board. Very powerful when it works, but very disruptible and very counterable if the opponent has cards like Cosmo, Enchantress, or whatever it might be. So be careful playing this one. I wouldn't say it's the best deck ever, but it might be your sort of style combo-focused deck. So now for some early game stuff. If you're a newer player, we have a Pool 1 deck, a very beginner-friendly discard synergistic deck, although it's not really a discard deck. This is a zoo deck focused on playing a lot of 1-cost cards, then playing Khazar and Blue Marvel to buff them up. You have cards that synergize with that, like the Angela and Bishop, and then we've got Strong Guy, who should be benefiting from this hot location as he is getting +6 power when you have no hand. So if you're able to discard a couple of cards, perhaps with that hot location, with a Blade, then you're going to nicely benefit from that. And finally, for those of you in Pool 2, we have a Pool 2 discard deck here. It shouldn't be the strongest archetype necessarily, but you're going to get that extra little boost in power with this hot location. So you're going to be able to play Morbius if you have it. Apocalypse is going to be your finisher and potentially a Strong Guy. And you can go with, you know, all the discards, you know, from the Lady Sif, the Swordmaster, the Blade, onto Swarm, onto Wolverine. Should be a fairly decent deck in the Pool 2 level. So that does it for my decks for SOKOVIA. I hope you guys enjoyed and this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to hit that subscribe button to see more of my content. And check out a video on screen right now. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.